Hurricane Sandy hit the east coast of the US 6 months ago, and we just left one of the worst hit areas, Staten Island. We checked in with the volunteers, saw what they were doing today and where they were from 6 months ago, and if they thought that Staten Island could make a full recovery.
This is the 15th or 16th house we actually ripped apart.
The Yellow Team, like many other volunteer groups, jumped into action immediately following the superstorm. This is video footage shot by volunteer Farid Kader a few days after Sandy hit as the cleanup process began. Kader told us that residents are still struggling to clean up 6 months on and are now battling another problem, mould. It's been 6 months since the superstorm Sandy hit. Where are you now in terms of progress?
Well, out of the four-phased approach, demolition, mold remediation, rebuild and restore, right now, I'd like to say that we're fully in the restore phase, but 6 months in, we still have a team right now doing demolition. We're doing, so some are still in the demolition phase, which is phase one. The one behind us right now had the mold remedied already at this point. We're putting insulation in. We're going to put a vapor barrier up and then sheetrock. So here's rebuild. Some others are still in demolition phase, which is really sad 6 months in. The mold's a prevalent issue, so it's really keeping homeowners from progressing to the rebuild stage.
For contractors like Michael Gonzalez, work has been plentiful in the hard-hit areas of Staten Island, but funding has been slow to come in, making attaining professional assistance difficult for most residents. Michael's team alone has worked on 2 houses in the past 6 months, while many people are left waiting. From your experience and kind of what you've seen, do you think Staten Island will ever fully recover?
Yeah, eventually. Eventually.
Do you see a time frame?
We're tough. We're tough people. Got to be tough to live in this world, right? You know, so now everybody's doing what they got to do, and a lot of people have been very helpful. It's a big effort, everybody. You know, it really is coming out very well. 6 months already. I mean, I can't believe already today. Yesterday was the date. It's been 6 months, and process is going to take slow.
Some people are saying it's going to take years. Do you believe that?
Yes, I do. Absolutely. I've been only working down here for 6 months, and we only did a couple of homes.
Whoa. So this is all your supplies still?
Some. This is like what sheetrock we have left. We were supposed to get 300 sheets of 300 more, which is a full truck. Right. 300 sheets of sheetrock is 4 pallets.
The Brown Cross was started by a group of off-duty police officers, firefighters and community members post-storm. The group is now led by Pastor Steve Martino of the Movement Church.
You try and help people the best way you can, and the best way you do it is to encourage them through the process. And that's why we feel, as a church and as a ministry, we can help people, encourage people through the process.
Humble about the work he has done, Martino works around the clock trying to get neighbours back into their homes. And according to some, the pastor has become somewhat of a local hero.
I just got to do it.
Kind of one of many organisations in the area. You seem very organised, but what's kind of some of the challenges that have been happening for you?
Believe it or not, getting the necessary permits, the waiting time. We're having 3 houses that we're working with to demolish and rebuild, and we've worked with an architect on those plans. And the waiting, the 30 to 60 day time period to get the necessary permits, and that the waiting game is hard. The waiting in between volunteers, the waiting in between getting certain work done, the waiting between getting the necessary supplies. There seems to be a lot of waiting, and for me that's frustrating because during the waiting I'm trying to encourage the people that are actually waiting to get back in and give them the necessary answers. So that's my hidden frustration, is the waiting. There's a parable in the Bible, it's called the Good Samaritan. I'm sure all of us heard that phrase, but in it they talks to 3 different people. And the first 2 walk over the person to get to where they have to go. But it was the last one, the Samaritan, that actually helped the person. So if we don't just walk by and ignore, but realize that there are people that are hurting and just stop and take that moment to help somebody, I think we can move and do it a lot faster than what's projected.